next performer, 196, The Power Behind Bars.
Breaking rocks out here on the chain gang. Breaking rocks and serving my time. Breaking rocks out here on the chain gang. 'Cause I've been convicted of crime. Been here many years, crying silent tears, feeling pain and despair, with nobody to care, struggling against defeat in this cold world of steel and concrete. According to the NAACP, while African Americans make up 13% of the U.S. population, they account for over 40% of the U.S. prison population. Today, people of color are disproportionately imprisoned, policed, and sentenced to death at a higher rate than their white counterparts. It would seem as though we've replaced Uncle Tom's Cabin with Uncle Sam's jail cell, and lashes with life sentences. For many people, the evils of America look like me. And because this misconception still exists, the cycle of cultural trauma will continue. Through the following, we will explore how Black criminals are perceived in the prison system and answer the question, does slavery still exist in our systems? Through the poetry, Torn and Twisted and Steel and Concrete by inmate Damian Doxley, My Baby Boy by inmate Kenneth Barr, Chain Gang by Nina Simone, Black America Again by Common, Prose, Man Arrested for Picking Up His Kids by Connor Friedersdorf, Cracking Open by Vanessa Jazari, Claims of Our Common Cause by Frederick Douglass, The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, The Miranda Rights, and transcript from George Zimmerman's phone call to the police. The Power Behind Bars, a program. What's the problem? The problem is I'm Black. I ain't do nothing wrong. I ain't break nobody's laws. And you tase me? That's assault! Racist mother. A heavy and cruel hand has been laid upon us. As a people, we feel ourselves to be not only deeply injured, but grossly misunderstood. My name is Michael Short, and I'm here because in 1992, I was sentenced to selling crack cocaine. Before then, I never spent a day in jail. I came from a good family. I had no criminal history. I was not a violent offender. But I was sentenced to serve nearly 20 years. I was 21 years old. The great mass of American citizens estimate us as being a characterless and purposeless people, and hence we hold up our heads, if against all the withering influence of a nation's scorn and contempt. I was like, man, it's just too sweet of a deal. There's no violence involved. Why not sell it, make my $500, and go on about my business? I heard some of the comments from some people in positions of power have made about crack cocaine prisons, that we are violent gang members, and that's why our sentences have to be so much longer. I am not that person, and most of the people I leave behind in prison aren't either. My baby good. Oh, my baby real good. Oh, my baby so good that good ain't good enough. So stop hating on my baby boy. He only in prison because y'all blame him. He only in prison because they say him. He only in prison because them want him. Because my baby boy good. Oh, he real good. My baby's so good. That he can't do no good. I got my baby's back through everything and anything, because my baby ain't did anything. No, my baby good. He real good. Lynch mob's baby gone, but the threat of police violence is ever present. A sudden wrong move, a gesture can mean massive retaliation by the police. Hey, this guy looks like he's up to no good, or he's on drugs or something. It's raining and he's just walking around, looking about. He looks black. The whites only signs may be gone, but new signs have gone up. Notices placed in job applications, rental agreements, petitions for licenses, informing the general public that felons are not wanted here. Yeah, a dark hoodie, like a gray hoodie, with either jeans or sweatpants on and white tennis shoes. He's just staring, looking at all the houses. Criminals, it turns out, are the one social group in America we have permission to hate. In colorblind America, they're entitled to little respect and moral concern. Like the coloreds in the years following emancipation, criminals today are deemed as a characterless and purposeless people, deserving of our collective scorn and contempt. Something's wrong with him. Yup. He's coming to check me out. He's got something in his hands. I don't know what his deal is, but get an officer here. Okay. These assholes, they always get away. Hundreds of years ago, our nation put those considered less than human in shackles. Less than 100 years ago, we relegated them to the other side of the town. Today, we put them in cages. Once released, they find that a heavy and cruel hand has been laid upon them. Who stole the soul from black folk? Same man who stole the land from Chief Black Smoke and made the whips crackle on our back slow and made us go through the back door and raffle black bodies on the slave blocks. Now we slave to the blocks, on them we spray shots, leaving our own to lay in the box. Black mother's stomach staying at night. We killing each other. It's part of the plot. I wish the hating would stop and the battle with us. I know that black lives matter and they matter to us. These are the things we gotta discuss. The new plantation, mass incarceration instead of educate. They rather convict the kids. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you. Do you understand the rights I have just read to you? With these rights in mind, do you wish to speak to me? As a matter of fact, the guns and the dope, man, y'all can have it back. From school to prison, they trying to pipe us, making voting laws to spite us. See, black people in the future, we wasn't shipped here to rob and shoot you. And we hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women were created equal, including black Americans. The witnesses for the state have presented themselves to you, gentlemen, to this court, in the cynical confidence that their testimony will go in undoubted. Confident that you gentlemen will go along in them in the assumption that all Negroes lie, that all Negroes are basically immoral beings, and Negro men are not to be trusted around our women, which is in itself, gentlemen, a lie. One I do not need to point out to you. And so, a quiet, humble, respectable Negro man has had to put his words against that of two white peoples. The defendant is not guilty, but somebody in this courtroom is. I often wonder how it would be to escape and run. No, not not over a wall, but with a bullet and a gun. How much longer can this last? How much more can I take before I snap out and lay bodies in my wake? I'll try to go on for my loved ones that's listed. But inside my heart, I know I'll always be torn and twisted. Been working and working and working and slaving, but I still got so terribly far to go.
Speaking fourth, Tre Edgerton from Eastridge High School in Minnesota, coached by Alex Carlson. Would any of you who just completed the 9th, 10th, or 11th grade please take a step forward? My pleasure to congratulate these students on auto qualification in program oral interp for next year's national tournament.